Welcome back to another video by Binge King. Today we will review a worth-watching movie in which a determined woman works with a hardened boxing trainer to become a professional. So before diving right into it, I would say fasten your seatbelts because there will be spoilers ahead. The movie starts with screening Willie indulged in a fight while he is fighting his opponent. Scrap narrates the story, giving us more room to understand what is going on. After having severe damage from his opponent, Willie finally hit the final blow. It's all because of his manager and trainer Frankie Dunn. There are some humorous scenes too, like Frankie teasing father of the church asking questions about faith in God. At the gym, we saw Danger, who is a total waste but enthusiastic about becoming a champion. Frankie is reading a book in his office and suddenly Scrap intervenes, acknowledging him about the new girl at the gym. Wait, what? Frankie does not train girls. He asks the girl named Maggie Fitzgerald to leave because he does not want to teach her and goes to coach Willie. Maggie is a waitress and she takes the leftover lunches for her living. The following day she goes again to the gym, and when Frankie sees her, he begins to question Scrap. Scrap tells him about her clearing the following 6 months' dues, which captivates Frankie to kick her out. At night, while Scrap is shutting down the gym, he sees Maggie practicing boxing. He goes there and visualizes her mistakes, and during their crosstalk, he corrects her posture and teaches her the basics of boxing. The following day, Maggie arrives at the gym while Frankie is coaching Willie. After training, Frankie debates Scrap over Maggie and doubts that someone is helping her as she has got Frankie's speed boxing. Frankie gets to her and asks his speed boxing back. He also advises her to leave because she's too old for training. After hearing this, she becomes emotional, dazzling him enough to give his speed boxing back to her. The same night, while Frankie discusses Willie's upcoming fight with someone on the phone, Willie knocks on the door, telling him that he will leave him to collaborate with other managers. Frankie is doleful because they had made connections and now he is pursuing his career and leaving Frankie with nothing but a pang of guilt. After some days, Frankie watches Willie's fight on television. He wins the fight and gets the title which Frankie couldn't help him to win. While discussing Willie's win with Scrap, he notices Maggie practicing in the middle of the night. He has got a chance of heart and starts lecturing her on how to train with the speedy boxings. During their cross talks, he concedes training her. It's time for training. Frankie starts coaching her with punching, boxing, body postures, and much more. One day after training, she asks him if she's ready for a fight, to which he replies yes and asks Sally to collaborate with her. They did, but during the fight, Sally could not help her with fighting issues, upon which Frankie, being anxious, comes on the stage and tells her to use her left hand too. He also kicks off Sally and becomes her manager. She acknowledges his ideas and after a while hits the final blow. Maggie fights her way up in the women's immature boxing division with Frankie's coaching and earns a reputation for quick KOs. Frankie suggests she keeps up with the fights for a long time, but it does not go well for her as the opponent hits her nose. But luckily, with Frankie's suggestions, she wins by blowing her opponent's face. Scrap, concerned when Frankie rejects several offers for big fights with title-winning awards, he arranges a meeting for Maggie with Willie's manager, Mickey Mack, but she declines out of loyalty to Frankie. Then we see Frankie at Maggie's house telling her about the award-winning fight she will be fighting. He also bestows a Gaelic nickname embroidered on her boxing robe, Mo Shuisley, but does not tell her its meaning. During the fight, Frankie is finally willing to arrange a title fight. He secures Maggie a $1 million match in Las Vegas against the women's welterweight champion, Billy the Blue Bear. Maggie eventually saves up enough for her winnings to buy her mother a house, but her mother scolds her for endangering her government aid, claiming that everyone back home is laughing at her. After Maggie and Frankie leave for the award title fight, we see some insight into the gym, where some bullies start a fight with Danger while Scrap is cleaning the restrooms. Luckily, Scrap senses the fight and arrives on the time to save Danger. The bullies start teasing Scrap, which I think they should not have. Scrap borrows a glove from Danger and blows the first and final hit, a single punch with saying, "Get a job." Before jumping to our main plot, do not forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell to not miss any future content. It is time for a worth fight, an award-winning fight. At the red corner we see Maggie as Mo Shuisley, and at the blue corner we see the Blue Bear. Maggie dominates her during the first round but gets a punch in her eyes, affecting her progress onward. The fight's second round is also pretty sad as Maggie returns to the stool, getting another punch. At this point, Frankie advises her of some tricks with which she manages to strike again till the end of the round. Frankie begins to set her corner stool so she can rest for a while, but unfortunately she gets an illegal sucker punch from behind after the bell rings to end the round, and Maggie lands hard on her corner stool, breaking her neck and leaving her with nothing but a ventilator-dependent quadriplegic. In the hospital, Frankie and Scraps visit her. Scraps tell her that Frankie is looking for the best hospital to treat you because these doctors are not professionals. It turns out that her neck, as well as the spinal cord, has been affected. So Frankie finds the best hospital in the region and drives 6 hours in the ambulance with her oxygen pipe intact with her nasal line. In the new hospital, with the doctor's hard work, she can now sit in the wheelchair for now. Meanwhile, Frankie is trying to reach out to her family because back in the hospital, Maggie is looking forward to a visit from her family. Still, he knows that they will arrive only after first touring Disneyland and Universal Studios Hollywood. And accompanied by a lawyer, their sole concern is to get Maggie's assets transferred to them. Before they get her to sign the papers, she understands their affection and scolds them to leave for their home right now, otherwise she will tell the lawyer about her mother's welfare fraud. She also tells them if she comes back, then she will sell their house. After some days, Maggie develops bed sores and undergoes surgery in which doctors have removed her infected leg. After surgery, she asks a favor from Frankie to help her die because she has got everything, like people chanting for her, loving her. Now she cannot live like this, a broken neck, broken spinal cord, and one leg. Frankie refuses, and later at night, she bites her own tongue repeatedly in an attempt to drown in her own blood. Knowing the fatherly affection Frankie has developed for Maggie, Frankie's priest warns him that he would never find himself again if he were to go through with Maggie's request. Frankie then sneaks into the hospital one night unaware that Scrap is watching from the shadows. Before administering a fatal injection of adrenaline, he tells Maggie the meaning of "Moshe Willie," my darling, and my blood. He never returns to the gym. Scrap's narration is revealed to be a letter to Frankie's daughter, informing her of her father's true character. Although the movie's ending is not entirely happy, still it is unique and has a good storyline. What do you think? Share your thoughts and best fan moments in the comments section below.